When they're dried properly, they're nice, man.
Okay. You got apricots, man. Dried apricots. You got seeds, different seeds. Bean seeds, pumpkin seeds. These are superfoods.
Yeah.
They're labeled superfoods.
Yeah.
They're natural omega-3.
Yeah. Anti-aging as well.
Yeah.
Natural, good for your skin. You can get the
Blood
oil.
cleanser.
Yeah.
Blood cleanser. You know what I mean? Build up the immune system. The gut.
You're gonna have to try and
These are raw food, not processed.
Yeah.
Natural, raw.
Yeah.
Okay. You build that good fiber. Build up the gut, the immune system, man.
Yeah.
So if your belly grumbling and you got you got like a leaky gut.
Yeah.
Munch up pumpkin seeds,
Yeah.
good fiber.
Yeah.
Build up the fiber foods, man.
Yeah.
Omega-3 and 6.
Right.
I got pumpkin seeds in my house, man. I bought bare of them.
Yeah.
Especially when the lockdown happened, because I eat them a lot, innit?
Yeah. Because they're good for Sabbath as well. Because you can't, if you can't do all the cooking and thing, when you got nuts in the yard and you got the seeds in the yard, something's always there. You know what I mean?
It's very nutritious, man.
Yeah.
Especially when you get a bowl of it and you mix it, you just munch. It's very nutritious. Put a little apricot there, sweeten it, or you might want to put some raisins or sultana. You get me? Sweeten it. You got honey, man. Raw honey. Animals that eat the honey, the bees, the honey bear, the bear.
Yeah.
So you get what's this guy, man? Winnie the Pooh.
Oh yeah. But yeah, the honey, the bears, and look how strong they are. And they eat, grizzly bear, look how strong they are. But then they eat honey. When you say when David said he watched the animals, there's things we could do. Watch them.
Serious, man. Yeah, man. Got all these different foods and things from the earth. Raw food. So Esau try to mess up the people that bring about GMO, genetically modified. He bring about his new genetic things, modifying the thing. Sweets, man. Sweets is not raw. They don't come from the earth.
Right.
I looked it up. They got a thing called gelatin in it.
Yeah.
And gelatin comes from the pork.
Yeah.
They cut up the pork. They do a madness, man. They mush it.
Yeah. Can't.
They pour it into something. They put some sugar and they put next things in it. And it looks nice. The sweet looks nice and squidgy.
Yeah.
Right now. I remember I used to eat
dried skin. Yeah. Jelly babies and all them thing there.
It tastes nice. I can't lie.
Yeah.
It's nice.
You can take certain short
flavor it.
You can get sweets out there that's just beef gelatin. It's got no pork in it.
Can't.
It's beef, but
Just something that.
Flipping. Yeah, all these genetified. They're trying to fuck up the corn.
But once you get to know London, it's just this certain culture.
Oh yeah, because it's not organic, artificial, and they might use some kind of they do something for it to process it, so it's no longer really corn anymore.
Yeah. Sugar foods, crisps. You know what I'm saying? What else, man? Sweets. All kind of fizzy drinks. You know what I'm saying? All these sodas, higher sugar.
Yeah, aspartame.
Yeah.
Fuck up your brain cells. You know
what I'm saying?
Aspartame. And people when you hear about MS, when people can't move and all that, they have to go in a wheelchair. That's the aspartame does that.
Oh, that's
Actually, when I used to go on seminars, Dr. Naylor Africa, he died, but I had some, and I said to him, "Is this all right to eat?" I went up to him and I asked him, "Is it all right to eat?" And he looked at he said, "It's got aspartame in it. It can give you MS."
Yeah, I looked up. Me and my aunt looked at that years ago, man. Aspartame. Now there's a whole heap of things to eat. That's what they put. It makes the product highly addictive. You know what I mean?
It does something to the brain as well. Like what happens?
Yeah,
gives the juice to the brain.
Can't. Pathways in the brain kills the brain cells. Like beer and all that does that. Alcohol, brandy and all that, whiskey and all that kills your brain. I learned that from years ago. I used to see certain men, they're all right one day, and then you see them keep on drinking beer all the time, and then you start to see them going off, and they start to start to slur in their speech, and I just learned that by observation of people. People my age, they messed up now because all that drinking from a young age.
Yeah, definitely.
Kill your brain cells.
It's even TV. They was even saying the same thing about TV. What TV does, TV kind of softens the brain tissue.
Right.
So you notice a lot of the times people become addicted to TV because of that situation, so to speak. And what TV does is it basically it zones you in. You know what I mean? So when you're watching something on a program or whatever, that's why they call it programs.
Right.
They zone you in, and then once they got you zoned in, they can program you. You know.
Yeah.
And have you believe that what you see on TV is reality, but it's not reality. It's just a figment of one's imagination. That's all it is. You know? But yeah, brother, you got one last scripture?
That's true. Could be one last scripture. Finish up this stuff. And oil to make his face shine. Oil to make your face shine. So really, you didn't have all these creams back then. You could make a cream, like a natural cream. You know, you got cocoa, I believe you could make a butter out of it.
Yeah, cocoa, yeah.
You know, cocoa, because cocoa is natural. Shea.
Yeah.
Natural products.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Well, in terms of these ones you see in these boots.
Yeah.
Shops, that's all chemicals, man. That's all commercial.
But
that's not natural.
I go to the hairdresser, I take all my products and I tell her, don't use none of your products. They know. And I'm very strict, and they use all my products in my hairdresser. Yeah. And the shampoo, everything is all mine, I take there.
See?
And my hair is, they say I got good hair. They don't know how old I am, But they,
you look young.
They say I got good hair and shit.
Yeah, you see? So, it's an oil to make a man's face shine. You got different type of oil. You got jojoba oil. You got,
yeah, that's a good. Black seed oil is good.
That's to build your immune system and that.
Yeah.
You've got different type of oil, bro. But men use that to make themselves look nice. Oil a man down. That's what Esau did to us in slavery.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Before he put us on the auction blocks, naturally we were unclean because we came off the ships after pumps at sea. So they dump us in the water and then oil us down to put on the auction blocks. I think it was sesame seed oil or something, some oil that they put. And there's some pervert white Edomite just oiling up the boys, their legs and the buttocks and feeding us. He must have been getting off on that, man. Fucking devils, And bread which strengtheneth man's heart. Bread that strengthens man's heart. Bread comes from flour. Flour, wheat.
If you use the rye flour nowadays, not the wheat, not the what's it called, the synthetic one, not synthetic, but the rye flour, the spelt flour. You understand? They're all the good flours. But nowadays, I know what I'm going for when I go into a shop. I'm not buying it in Sainsbury's, no bread in Sainsbury's where they inject fat into it for longer shelf life and to be soft. So I know what I'm buying when I'm buying. It's spelt is one of the best. The rye is one of the best as well.
Yeah, I heard about all them ones. Whole grain.
The whole grain. I only eat whole grain rice. And having said all that, I've learned through when you do on the health thing, it's always good to have treats to balance things out. Because if you don't have treats, you're just going to rebel and go mad again. So it's good to have the health and have your treats as well. To the side. To balance. Everything's about balance.
No balance, innit? Yeah. You might wake up one day and say, you know what, man, my taste buds want some sugar.
Yeah.
And you just go back to the old shit, innit?
Yeah.
And you start pigging out on all kind of fuckings, innit?
Yeah.
And then when you start getting sick again, you say, I need to go back to the health shit, man.
Yeah.
When you start eating, go back to vegan.
Yeah.
You have too much vegan, gets tired, and you think, nah, man, I need to go and eat some crisps, some salt or some sugar.
Yeah.
Go quick KFC. I want to get some of that KFC.
Because I was saying, no, because these bodies are very rebellious. I learned throughout the years, the body is these bodies what we're under a curse with. He gave us these bodies, they're rebellious bodies.
Yeah.
So they want what you're not supposed to have. But to balance it out, you've got to treat them every now and then make sure that you always got good things in the house, and a little bit. I have my dark chocolate always there. I don't have milk chocolate, but I have dark chocolate there. So that if my body wants to rebel, I got that. Sweet. Yeah. It's sweet there, you know. A little bit of wine, you know, the right kind of wine. And you learn it I learned it over time. You learn it over time.
You know what I mean? All this, man. So the scriptures teach you about all the different things that Moses has put there for man, for the use of man. For the use of the animals. How everything works together for the benefit of everything. The grass works for the animals work for the man, the oil, the food for the earth. The trees of the Lord Yahawah are full of sap. Trees are full of sap. Trees, man. Look how big this tree is. That's a big tree. Look at the leaves and, you know, it's beautiful, man. The trees.
It's a massive one. Yeah.
Sun beat down too hard, you can sit under the tree. You go on a date with a girl, go to the park and you sit under the tree and you do your thing.
People who on the other extreme, they do tree hugging, but there is some truth in the tree hugging because trees are alive and they give energy off. So there's some truth in it, but Esau's always perverting everything, you know, just standing there hugging on the tree like that.
No, he's a freak, man.
Yeah.
Esau the freak. You know? You got ancient trees that have been around for centuries, man. You know what I mean? Trees that provide homes for the birds, for the insects. You got a bird that drills hole into the tree.
Oh yeah.
So he can nest in the tree.
Sparrow. I think the sparrow that does that. Yeah, sparrows. Yeah, sparrow.
See you soon, though. You know what I mean? Trees, plants, they bring oxygen.
Yeah.
What did Esau do? He run inside the forest and cut down every tree you see. Alright? So he killed off the natural habitat of the animals. That's what Esau do, and he used the tree for paper. Because you can cut down tree and make it for, you know, you can build house of wood. But Esau, he goes to the full extent, he crosses the line, man. And he started killing off the natural habitat and it changed the ordinance of the whole environment, man.
Yes, brother. Hello. Good to see you, man.
Right? You go into a forest that always existed, and now Esau thinks he wants to spread out the cities, he wants to build cities and this. So he go into the forest and chop down and, you know, clear out the forest. And when he does that, he's killing off the natural habitat for the animals, man. So the animals, they need to change their whole living circumstance.
Yeah, they're out of sync. They're out of sync with the earth.
The course, the foundations of the earth is all out of course because of this man. He doesn't care about the ecosystem and the you know, the habitat. You don't think about the animals. You only think about himself and how he's gonna, you know, conjure up his society and build and construct. Doesn't care nothing about everything else, the earth and the creation. No, he wants it all for himself. You know, the scriptures say that if a man went into a field and gleaned the grapes, wouldn't he leave some grapes? Esau don't care about the poor and the needy. He just take it all for himself. He take the whole earth, man. Don't care about the animals, the spiders, the birds.
Yes, my man.
Shalom. You don't care about the birds. You don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? Literally the birds and the animals, they live in that environment for a reason. Because there's water, the air, there's probably more clean. Because the environment there probably provides them with everything that they need. But Esau don't care about that. He just come through, clean out the whole thing, plant his little buildings there, take the trees, cut the trees down, make paper out of it, make planks or wood or whatever, pillar. You don't care nothing about the trees. Give a damn about the animals. The animals, they can migrate wherever they want. Esau don't care about that. You know?
The cedars of Lebanon which he had planted, where the birds make their nests.
See? The birds make their nest. Okay? Go ahead.
As for the stalk, the fir trees are her house.
You see that? As for the stalk, the fir trees, that's her house. What did it say? It said if a man don't have money to pay you, why should you take his house from him? So you know that the fir tree, that's the house of the stalk. So why are you cleaning out the fir trees for? If you know that that's the house of the stalks. You wouldn't like it if somebody came around and cleaned out your thing because that's where you live. No consideration. Esau don't have no consideration. He's greedy. Go ahead.
The high hills are a refuge for the wild goats.
What did it say?
The high hills are a refuge for the wild goats.
You got certain goats that live in the hills, man.
Yeah.
The goats, the mountain goats, the
Yeah.
big horns, man.
Yeah.
They run at you, they push you out the way, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Got
They
good
live
balance.
between the rocky mountains, them goats. You think them little goats that Esau got, that people got traditionally, you think that's the only goats? No, you got the wild goats, man.
Different variations.
The big he goats with the big round horns, man. And they look horns. You know, the males they fight over dominance. And they look horns. Like buffalo. To breed. So they look horns, man. And they, what they say? Do that again?
The high hills are a refuge for the wild goats.
Right. The hills are a refuge for the wild goats. In the hills, you have streams of water. You got grass even in the hills. Antelopes don't just live in just Africa and that. You got certain antelopes that live in the hills, man. The mountains, man. Go ahead.
And the rocks for the conies.
The rocks for the conies.
What's a coney?
It's in the rabbit. Yeah, the rabbit. It looks like a screw mixed with a rabbit and screw.
Okay.
Their habitation is Jerusalem. Their habitation is in Jerusalem.
Conies.
Yeah. They hide underneath rocks.
Conies, yeah?
And the rocks for the conies.
I don't know about that. I used to look into that. Go on. You can talk about it if you want. Go on.
I don't know much about them. All I know is that their habitation is Jerusalem, Israel, and they hide underneath rocks.
Yeah, they hide them because of Esau. Go ahead.
That's a side joke right there.
Yeah.
He appointed the moon for seasons.
He appointed the moon for seasons, man. Okay? He tells you that in Ecclesiasticus, man. It's a sign of changing of the times, man. A sign of the moon and feasts. New moon. Alright? The full moon, the crescent moon, the half moon. Goes through its phases. What happens on a new moon? That's a Sabbath day. You meant to keep that day holy. You meant to work, do any type of work. You meant to rest. I mean, you can rest how you rest, without no work, no labor. You could go for a walk or whatnot, but you're meant to rest. You're meant to chill on that day. That's your day of chill out. You know? But some brothers got to work in it, so we're in captivity. So we're not justified by the law. It's by faith. But if you can keep the Sabbath, you're going to keep it. Okay? Because back in ancient times, we had moon watchers. You had watchmen. You had towers, and then you had watchmen. They would watch for the changing of the moon. And they'd blow the trumpet in the new moon. There'd be a trumpet that would be blown. And signify, boom, no rest. Over there in Nigeria, man, every Sunday, because they think that that's a Sabbath on a Sunday, right? All the shops are shut down. It's quiet, man. Because they think that day is the Sabbath. But they don't know that it's determined by the moon. That shows that the Nigerians, the Israelites, man. Because it's in them to have respect unto the Most High, and to His word.
The sun, know if it's going down.
The sun know if it's going down. The sun, man. The sun emits a type of energy, man. When the sun hits your skin, you feel confident, man. You feel that energy. You know?
Yeah.
It can tone up your skin.
Yeah.
bring out the moisture in your skin. So if you got dry skin, usually around summertime, I got dry skin.
Yeah.
But during summertime, my skin gets a lot more moist.
Yeah.
Because of the sun in it.
Vitamin D.
Moistens you, man.
It's a natural vitamin D. And they prescribe it in the doctors prescribe you that synthetic stuff that ends up messing you up. Anyway, I've taken it before, the synthetic stuff, and I'm very intuitive or sensitive. I can pick up if something ain't right, and I just knew it weren't naturally, didn't feel right. You know, my nerves started to tell me something. I said, nah, if I carry on taking it, it'll bug me out.
Yeah.
And they're giving that to people, vitamin D, especially to the Jakes. It's messing them up.
You don't trust Esau, never trust thy enemy. The scripture saying Deuteronomy 33, your enemies will be found to be liars unto you. Alright? The sun. Esau, he's allergic to the sun. There's a certain disease, man, when you're allergic to the sun, man. You have some type of skin rash or something. And Esau, people without melanin get that. You know? How are you going to be allergic to a natural... You know what I'm saying? You're allergic to the sunlight, man. I say you get the vampire movies from.
Yeah.
The vampire movies, they get that. Esau got all that, man.
Yeah.
Because that's what he is.
Yeah. He is.
You know what I mean? All them sunblock and all them creams. You see all them creams on television about sunblock and to shield you from the sun rays. That's for him. That ain't for us. That's for them. That's an advertisement for them. Because we don't need all that. Other nations and people don't need all that because we're nature. Esau, he's like the what's this word I'm looking for, man? He's a defect.
Calm.
You know, he's been marked. The Most High marked him. Go back to Cain. He's an abomination. He's a reject from nature. You can't synchronize with nature. You have to kill it, distort it, lie about it, cover it. You can't get along with it. He has to be taken out.
Can I mention?
We need to vaccinate him, man.
Can I mention something what you said about the vampire thing? Because most had let me get a little bit deeper into what Esau. They're doing. We know about the sex trafficking, but they actually got the adrenochrome. We know about the adrenochrome, but there's girls that's coming out now. Whistleblowers saying that they've become pregnant, made to become pregnant, so that the person who gets the Edomites, the sex trafficking racketers, take the baby. And she said, what did they do? They asked her a question. What did they do with the baby when she's 12 years old? What did they do? They said that they drink his blood and they eat it. And I've been feeling kind of a little bit angry recently, just watching it. High Roots TV, and I have to let myself down gently to understand what Esau's really doing. But that vampire thing is, as you said, that vampire thing goes deep, man.
Yeah, there must be. Whatever they do in that television, you know, they practice that behind curtains. They actually do that. All that demonic stuff. You know? They say that, what they say?
The sun know if it's going down.
The sun know if it's going down. The sun know its natural cycle. And it's been doing that ever since the beginning, ever since it was first created. Ever since we created it, man. The sun always does its orbit. Like, you know what I mean? Where
Thou makest darkness and it is night.
thou makest darkness and it is night, man. You know? Man is subject, man is at the mercy of nature. We're all at the mercy of nature. If nature decides to do something, change up, we are all compromised now. Because of nature. You know? When it goes dark time, we can't change up the night. We gotta accept the fact that the sun has now gone down and it's night time now. Light up a fire. You know what I mean? And accept that it's night time now. Usually that's the time that people go to sleep. You know? And you have to be careful. Because it's night time, you have robbers, you got thieves, that's when the criminals, the demons come out. You know, usually you gotta come back into the house, your parents call you back into the house because the sun is going down. You know what I mean? Certain animals only come out at night. Owls. You know what I'm saying? Foxes usually come out at night, man. You know, certain animals only hunt by night. They only move under cover of darkness.
Scriptures say darkness and light, yeah. Because Esau's changed it. So he tells you that when it comes to midnight, that's now the morning time. So now, the scripture says, when it's night time, darkness to the morning. So that darkness to when the light comes, that's your night time. That's another example of Esau just changing the ordinances of the Most High.
You know what I mean?
He thinks he's better. He thinks he's above the Most High.
Yeah, it says that in 2 Thessalonians. Okay, so read that part again.
Thou makest darkness, and it is night.
Thou makest darkness, and it is night. Right? The word is say that the thief cometh by night. If I would say it says something about a thief cometh by night or something like that.
To kill,
I'm not mistaken.
Thief cometh not.
but to kill, steal, and destroy. Is that the one?
Not that one. Is it this?
The day of the Lord shall come as a
The
thief.
thief in the night, right?
Oh, come.
So it's showing you that usually criminals, they do things at night time. They do things in cover of darkness. You know what I'm saying? Where no one can see them, but they can't be spotted. Because the light reveals what's happening in the dark. So they don't usually do things in daytime. They wait for dark. Vampires come out at dark. Esau, you know, he's the wicked. He come out, you know, he does things in darkness. It's like gross darkness to uncover the earth. Meaning the lies and the deceit. You know what I mean? And the corruption and the wickedness. That's what the darkness represents. You know? Like I said, you got certain animals that come out at night like moths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Certain nighttime birds like owls and that.
Yeah.
Even sometimes lions hunt by nighttime.
Yeah.
Because you can take the prey by surprise.
Come.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
All the beasts, wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth.
Say that again?
Wherein all the beasts of the forest do creep forth.
Exactly. So the beasts of the forest, they creep forth during the dark. Like leopards, man. They can hunt during the night time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These are certain animals they can see
Yeah.
through the dark, man. With their eyes
Yeah.
very keen in the dark.
Yeah.
Better than man. A man need a torch, he needs to go in there with fire.
Yeah.
Animal don't need that. His eyes are set to see. You know?
Yeah.
Some animals they leave with their tongue. They can
Can't.
sense things a mile off.
Can't. Yeah.
Some animals used by their nostril, man. They
Yeah.
can just
Yeah.
sniff and find you just by to hunt you down just by your scent, man.
The bat.
You know what I mean?
I mean, I like the bat because the bat uses that echo location.
Yeah.
Boy.
They can sense the frequency in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some animals, they can sniff an area, smell whether this is somebody else's territory. They can smell the piss. You know what I mean? Or pick up the scent of a female that's in heat. You know? Animals are very sensual, man.
Yeah.
They can pick up fear.
Yeah.
They can smell fear,
Yeah.
and then they'll move in you if they sense fear.
Yeah.
If they see confidence, then they'll be cool with you.
Yeah.
If they sense fear, then they'll attack you, innit? You know?
The
Blood. They can smell blood.
yeah. Shark.
Like sharks, man.
Yeah.
One drop of blood. They come look. Why do you think the sharks was hunting down, was following the ships, the slave ships? Because Esau was throwing us overboard. You know?
And the dolphin, if you was in the water and a shark was coming for you, a dolphin would go for a dolphin would go to kill the shark, because the dolphin's got that terminal. What's that word? It's got that protective. It's very protective to the underdog, and they use sonar radar, and when a woman's pregnant, you know, like it's sonar radar, and you go in hospital, they use sonar radar to see what's in the belly and all that on the screen. They realise that the dolphin, if you're in a state of being pregnant, giving birth, they put the dolphin around you, it can ease off the pain.
Okay.
And they know they can sense fear, and they come to your aid. If you're in a state of fear, they can come to protect you, in your defence. So the dolphin is very intelligent as well.
You know, animals, there's a certain way you got to move around animals, man. Like, if a certain animal, like a predator, come near you, they'll say, don't move, make any sudden movements. Because the animal, he's defensive. He's more scared of you than you are of him. And how they defend themselves is they lash out.
Yeah.
That's another way to defend yourself, is to lash out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes they say it's better to attack than to defend. If you attack, while you're attacking, you're also defending yourself while you're attacking.
Right.
And you can learn that off of animals. You know? Go ahead.
The sun arises, they gather themselves together and they lay them down in their dens. Man goeth forth.
So we say that again?
The sun arises, they gather themselves together and they lay them down in their dens.
Do you say, read that again, read that all again.
The sun arises, they gather them. Start 21. The young lions roar after their prey.
The young lions roar after their prey, man. There's an order that the lioness, they usually initiate the hunt. When you check any, because I like watching lions in documentaries. I just like it, innit? And what happens is the lionesses, there's more lionesses than there are males typically, innit? And the lionesses, there's usually like the dominant female that's more experienced than the rest of them. Usually she might start off the thing, and all the rest of the lionesses follow, but they hunt the animal, whereas the male lion that gets first dibs. The females might start eating, but as soon as the male lion jumps in, they kind of scatter. Then he starts eating, then they all, especially if it's a big pride, they'll separate that zebra or whatever. They'll munch it. The one lion might run off with the leg, another lion might run off with the foot. You know, especially if they're hungry, man. And then the little cubs, they get lost. They get the rations, man. The little cubs. You know, so it's like an order in hunting, man. They roar after their prey, and usually when lions are around, there's hyenas always following, man. The little scavengers, and I find hyenas annoying, man.
Yeah.
But the hyenas always manage to take the piss out of the female lionesses, man. Especially when the male lion is not around, the hyenas they bully the female lions for the leftovers of the prey, man. You usually hear them giggling, and then they'll test the lion. They'll test it. Then when the lion turns its back, another one does something to it. Then they all kind of bully it out, and then they take the thing.
Yeah. They're cowards because they're gang mentality. But I call them the demons of the forest. They're the demons.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They got that laugh, man.
Yeah.
Imagine that, a dog that laughs.